Crooklyn, a 1994 American autobiographical film, helmed and produced by Spike Lee, features an ensemble cast including Alfre Woodard, Delroy Lindo, Spike Lee, Zelda Harris, Isaiah Washington, Frances Foster, and other talented actors. Set against the backdrop of Brooklyn in 1973, the narrative revolves around a school teacher, her determined jazz musician husband, and their 5 children. This cinematic gem garnered critical acclaim, boasting a high rating and significant commercial success. During its release, Crooklyn stood out as one of the finest films of its era. In this video, we'll spotlight some of the cast members who have since passed away. Join us on our channel where we delve into such insightful videos. Remember to show your support by liking, commenting, and subscribing for more content on our channel. Stay tuned for intriguing features on the beloved cast of Crooklyn and other cinematic gems. Thank you for being a part of our community. Frances Foster. Frances Foster, widely recognized as Auntie in the hearts of fans of the 1994 American autobiographical film Crooklyn, is a cherished cast member who has departed. Foster experienced matrimony at least 3 times. Her first marriage in 1941 was to Robert Stanfield Foster, with whom she welcomed a son. In June 1961, actor Roy Glenn became her husband. Later, from 1983 until her passing, she found companionship with Morton Goldson, gaining 3 stepchildren from his previous marriage. On June 17, 1997, at the age of 73, Foster succumbed to a cerebral hemorrhage at Fair Oaks Hospital in Fairfax, Virginia. She left behind her husband, her son Terrell, Robert Foster, her 3 stepchildren, and a sister named Beverly Tate. Instead of floral tributes, Foster requested donations be made in her name to Hale House in New York City and Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS. A memorial service took place on September 15th at the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture in Harlem. Foster rests at Pine Lawn Cemetery in Farmingdale, Long Island, New York. Born in Yonkers, New York, to George H. Brown, a postal worker, and Helen E. Lloyd, Foster studied acting at the American Theater Wing in Manhattan from 1949 to 1952. She made her stage debut in 1955 as Dolly May in The Wisteria Trees at City Center Theater. Foster, a founding member of the Negro Ensemble Company from 1967 to 1986, featured in over 25 productions and earned an Obie Award in 1985 for sustained excellence of performance. She received 2 Audelco Awards, one for acting and the other for directing at the New Federal Theater in Manhattan. Her accolades include the 1978 Best Actress Award for Do Lord Remember Me and the 1983 Best Director Award for Hospice. Foster appeared in various films, such as Malcolm X, Crooklyn, and Clockers. Additionally, she portrayed Vera in the soap opera Guiding Light from 1985 to 1994. Notably, she starred in a memorable episode of Good Times as Gertie Vinson, the neighbor who reluctantly ate dog food in The Dinner Party. Arthur French. Arthur French portrayed the West Indian store manager in the film. Arthur French, the celebrated performer and original member of the Negro Ensemble Company, passed away on July 24th at the age of 89. Mr. French marked his debut on Broadway in Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death in 1971, currently undergoing a revival. He maintained a robust presence as a supporting actor in various productions, extending to A Trip to Bountiful in 2013. In the 1975 revival of Death of a Salesman, he served as the understudy for Charlie, eventually assuming the role permanently. His Broadway repertoire also includes The Iceman Cometh, Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, You Can't Take It With You, and more. Beyond his contributions to Broadway, Mr. French was a frequent participant off-Broadway, commencing with Raisin Hell in the Sun at Provincetown Playhouse in Greenwich Village in 1962, followed by Day of Absence, the inaugural production of the Negro Ensemble Company. Throughout his illustrious career, he starred in Driving Miss Daisy, Joe Turner's Come and Gone, and Checkmates. Outside of performing, Mr. French directed and imparted his knowledge through teaching. In 2015, he received the Actors Equity Foundation Paul Robeson Citation Award. His accolades also include a 1997 Obie Award for Sustained Excellence of Performance and a 2007 Lucille Lortel Award for his contributions to August Wilson's Two Trains Running. Born on November 6, 1931, in New York City, Arthur French graduated from Bronx High School of Science. Originally aspiring to be a preacher or a DJ, he stumbled into acting by chance. Finding himself in the same building as the dramatic workshop, he enrolled in acting classes. Peggy Fury was among his teachers, according to the New York Times. Mr. French is survived by his son Arthur W. French III, his daughter Antonia Willow French, and two grandchildren, Christopher Wynkoop. Christopher Wynkoop, another member of the cast of the 1994 film Crooklyn, has departed. Wynkoop portrayed the TV evangelist in a minor role in the film, leaving an indelible mark on fans with his distinctive acting prowess. Born in 1943, he enjoyed a successful acting career, gracing films such as Ghostbusters in 1984, Pootie Funeral in 2001, He Got Game in 2001, The Warrior Class in 2007, She Hates Me in 2004, Whoopi in 2003, Law and Order, Wendigo, Bamboozled in 2000, and many others. Christopher Wynkoop passed away in 2020 at the age of 76 years. David Cassidy. David Cassidy, another member of the 1994 film Crooklyn cast, has passed away. Cassidy, best known as Keith Partridge, was hospitalized with liver and kidney failure on November 18, 2017, entering a critical state in a medically induced coma. 2 days later, he emerged from the coma, maintaining a critical but stable condition. Despite efforts to stabilize him until a liver transplant became available, he succumbed to liver failure on November 21, 2017, at 67. According to his daughter, Katie Cassidy, his parting words were, "So much wasted time." Born at Flower Fifth Avenue Hospital in New York City, Cassidy was the son of singer and actor Jack Cassidy and actress Evelyn Ward. His father had Irish and German ancestry, while his mother traced her roots to colonial Americans with Irish and Swiss heritage. His mother's ancestors were among the founders of Newark, New Jersey. In 1956, Jack Cassidy married singer and actress Shirley Jones, and they had 3 children: David's half-brothers Sean, B. 1958, Patrick, B. 1962, and Ryan, B. 1966. In 1968, after completing summer school for a high school diploma, David moved into the rental home of Jack Cassidy and Shirley Jones in Irvington, New York. He pursued fame in acting and music while working in a textile firm's mailroom. As his career flourished, he moved out. On January 2, 1969, Cassidy made his professional debut in the Broadway musical The Fig Leaves Are Falling. After a screen test following a casting director's recommendation, he moved to Los Angeles in 1969. Signing with Universal Studios, Cassidy appeared in TV series like Ironside, Marcus Welby, MD, Adam 12, Medical Center, and Bonanza. In 1970, Cassidy took on the role of Keith Partridge in the musical TV show The Partridge Family. Acknowledging his singing talent, Cassidy joined the studio ensemble as the lead singer. While the show gained popularity, Cassidy struggled with the downside of fame. Feeling stifled and overwhelmed by mass hysteria, he sought to change his public image. In May 1972, he posed nude on the cover of Rolling Stone in an Annie Leibovitz photo, attempting to reshape public perception. The accompanying Rolling Stone article mentioned Cassidy riding around New York, stoned and drunk in the back of a car. Cassidy later revealed he faced financial struggles in the 1980s, despite his earlier success and substantial earnings. In 1985, musical achievements continued with the Arista release of the single The Final Embrace, featuring backing vocals by George Michael. This track was part of the album Romance. These releases achieved gold status in Europe and Australia. Cassidy embarked on a sold-out tour of the United Kingdom, resulting in the creation of the 1986 compilation Greatest Hits Live. Michael acknowledged Cassidy's significant impact on his career, conducting an interview for David Litchfield's Ritz newspaper. Cassidy ventured into musical theater, participating in a revival tour of Little Johnny Jones in 1981, a production predating its Broadway run in 1904, with George M. Cohan's contributions to music, lyrics, and book. Despite negative reviews, Cassidy's role was filled by fellow former teen idol Donny Osmond before the show reached Broadway. In the original 1982 Broadway production of Joseph and the amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, Cassidy replaced the lead. He also graced London's West End in time and returned to Broadway for Blood Brothers alongside Petula Clark and his half-brother Sean Cassidy. Achieving a return to the American Top 40 in 1990, Cassidy released the single Deceiving Myself on Enigma Records, featured in his 1990 album David Cassidy. Subsequently, his 1992 album Didn't You Used to Be was released on Scotti Brothers Records. In 1998, he experienced success in the adult contemporary music genre with No River I Wouldn't Cross, from the album Old Ploy New Pet on his personal Slamma-Jamma Records label. In addition to Deceiving Myself, 1990 marked his role in the comedic film The Essence of 76, portraying a man from the future seeking the U.S. Constitution in the year 1976. It was also the year he played a key role in the romantic drama Instant Karma. From November 1996 to December 1998, Cassidy headlined the Las Vegas production EFX at the MGM Grand Las Vegas. In 2000, he wrote and starred in the Las Vegas show at the Copa alongside Sheena Easton, portraying both the young and older versions of the lead character, Johnny Flamingo. His 2001 album, Then and Now, achieved international platinum status and marked Cassidy's return to the top 5 of the UK album charts, a position he hadn't held since 1974. Cassidy's initial spouse was actress Kay Lenz, with their union taking place on April 3, 1977, and concluding with divorce on December 28, 1983. His second marriage transpired in 1984 with Merrill Tanz, a horse breeder he first encountered at a horse sale in Lexington, Kentucky, in 1974. This marriage concluded in 1988. The daughter of Cassidy, actress Katie Cassidy, was born in 1986 as a result of an extramarital relationship with fashion model Sherry Williams. Following the separation of David and Williams, Katie was raised by her mother and stepfather, Richard Benedon. David acknowledged his distant connection to Katie, expressing in February 2017, "I've never had a relationship with her. I wasn't her father, I was her biological father, but I didn't raise her. She has a completely different life. I'm proud of her. She's very talented. It's hard for me to even accept how old she is now." Cassidy entered his third marriage with Sue Schifrin on March 30, 1991, which eventually ended in separation. Beau, their child, was born in 1991. In August 2013, Cassidy's publicist in Los Angeles confirmed the couple's separation, with Schifrin initiating divorce proceedings in February 2014. Cassidy relocated to Fort Lauderdale, Florida in 2002 and filed for bankruptcy in 2015. On January 10, 2014, Cassidy faced arrest in California on suspicion of DUI after making an illegal right turn against a red light. Held overnight in jail, he received orders for inpatient rehabilitation and 5 years of probation. Subsequently, on September 9, 2015, Cassidy was cited in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, for charges including leaving the scene of a car accident, improper lane change, expired tags, and driving on a suspended license. Don Cornelius. Don Cornelius portrayed himself in the film. Around 4 a.m. PST on February 1, 2012, authorities responded to a shooting at Cornelius's residence in Los Angeles. He was discovered with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head and was transported to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where he was declared deceased at 75 years old. Cornelius, born on Chicago's South Side on September 27, 1936, and raised in the Bronzeville neighborhood, completed his education at DuSable High School in 1954. Following this, he served for 18 months during the Korean War as a member of the United States Marine Corps. After his military service, Cornelius held various occupations, including selling tires, automobiles, and insurance, as well as working as a Chicago Police Department officer. Despite being married with 2 sons and having only $400 in his bank account, he left his day job in 1966 to pursue a 3-month broadcasting course. In the same year, he secured a position as an announcer, news reporter, and disc jockey at Chicago radio station WVON. Transitioning to television, Cornelius joined Chicago's WCIU-TV in 1967, where he hosted the news program A Black's View of the News. In 1970, he initiated Soul Train on WCIU-TV as a local daily show, eventually expanding to national syndication and relocating to Los Angeles the following year. The national debut episode featured Eddie Kendricks, Gladys Knight, and the Pips, Bobby Hutton, and Honeycomb. Originally a journalist with inspiration from the civil rights movement, Cornelius recognized the limited television exposure for soul music in the late 1960s. Through Soul Train, he provided a platform for many African-American musicians, introducing them to a broader audience and leaving a significant impact among both African-American communities and the wider public. As the writer, producer, and host of Soul Train, Cornelius played a crucial role in providing broader visibility to Black musicians like James Brown, Aretha Franklin, Marvin Gaye, and Michael Jackson. He also created opportunities for talented dancers, setting a precedent for popular dance programs on television. Cornelius remarked, "We had a show that kids gravitated to," and Spike Lee characterized the program as an urban music time capsule. Through the inception of Soul Train, Cornelius spearheaded a program that portrayed African Americans in a fresh light, initiating a Black is Beautiful campaign. Prior to Soul Train, African Americans were only sporadically featured on TV, typically as guests on predominantly white-centered programs. The show not only showcased African American culture, but also brought African American musicians and dancers to television. Its appeal to white audiences steadily increased, eventually amassing a huge following. Recognizable for his smooth voice and diminishing afro, Cornelius was renowned for the closing catchphrase, "And you can bet your last money it's all gonna be a stone gas, honey. I'm Don Cornelius, and as always in parting, we wish you love, peace, and soul." Following Cornelius's departure, the phrase was shortened to, "And, as always, we wish you love, peace, and soul," and remained in use through the show's most recent new episodes in 2006. Another frequent introductory phrase was, "We got another sound coming out of Philly that's a sure 'nuff dilly." In addition to his television work, Cornelius had a limited number of film roles. He portrayed record producer Mo Fuzz in 1988's Tapeheads and a fictionalized version of himself in 1987's The Return of Bruno, a mockumentary featuring fictional singer Bruno Radolini, played by Bruce Willis. In this documentary, Cornelius appeared as the host of the local Detroit funk gospel show Bless My Soul, presenting Radolini's return to the stage with a duet alongside the Temptations. Cornelius's final appearance was on an episode of the TV series Unsung, featuring Full Force, which aired just 2 days before his passing. In October 2008, Cornelius faced arrest at his residence on Mulholland Drive in Los Angeles on a felony charge related to domestic violence. After posting bail, Cornelius attended court proceedings in November 2008, where he was formally accused of spousal abuse and dissuading a witness from reporting to the police. Returning to court in December 2008, Cornelius entered a plea of not guilty to the charge of spousal abuse. A restraining order prohibited him from approaching his estranged wife, Russian model Victoria Avila Cornelius, who had secured 2 separate orders of protection. By March 2009, Cornelius changed his plea to no contest and received a 36-month probationary sentence. In the A&E documentary miniseries Secrets of Playboy in 2022, Cornelius faced accusations of sexually assaulting 2 Playboy bunnies during the 1970s. Allegedly brought to Cornelius's residence for a 3-day period, the women claimed to have been confined to separate rooms, restrained, drugged, and sexually assaulted. In response, Cornelius's son, Tony, issued a statement dismissing the allegation as an unbelievable story without real proof. Before we say goodbye, a huge shout-out to our collaborators and the amazing team behind the scenes. None of this would be possible without their hard work and dedication. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with someone you think might enjoy it. Until next time, take care, stay curious, and keep being amazing. See you in the next one.